Alright, today we're having a look at the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Imperial Troop Transport, number 0019. Finally was able to pick this one up by ordering it online from Walmart. Finally. This is one of the first ones that most people got, but this is actually second to last on the ones that I've been able to get my hands on. Very annoyingly out of reach. So we'll go over the features real quick. There's your front. Just give you a look around. You can see that spilt coffee brown wash that they use. Not particularly a fan of that. Give you a quick. This would appear to be the design from Rebels and not the design from Mandalorian, which I find odd because most other things in this series are Mandalorian themed. Granted, in the next series, they're apparently doing some stuff from Rebels, but the A-Wing that they showed off is an RZ-2 from Last Jedi. That's not a thing I want to get into right now. First off, there's the rotating cannons, which unfortunately can't face forward, which, you know, it seems like it would kind of defeat the purpose of having cannons here, if you couldn't even shoot forward if you wanted to. And it seems like the ceiling of the, well, maybe you can get over it, but the little hump here seems like it'd be too much for the cannons to overcome. So it seems like this thing just doesn't have much firepower on the front axis there. But there's how they rotate. There's a lot of friction in them, which I think is pretty great, so they stay where you put them. And you can, you know, twist them around like that if you so wish. And then on the sides, you got your doors. They all flip open, just like that. So you can open them all up and have your troops, you know, deploy. Just like that. And then this one has a little door to the interior, which I'll give you a look at in a sec. There's the back, nothing to go over there, really just some detail and some wash. Same thing with the door situation on this side, they all open. Just like that. And then the cannon up top, the main bit of ordnance on this ship rotates like that. No friction in this one, but it's alright, it's not going anywhere when you're rolling it around. That levels like that. I'm sure it goes, you know, the whole way. In fact, there you go, I'll push it. Goes the whole way over, and they're actually linked, so you can move one, and it moves the other, which is how it should be. I like that. And then on the bottom, you got your transparent wheels, so it, you know, sort of looks like it's floating, because it's, you know, a hover vehicle. And then the first hatch, you just crack that open, and it gives you a look at your cockpit there. There's the back door, just big enough for a person. Doesn't actually open though, it's just molded. And then your two seats with your cool little flight yokes. That's probably the most detail I've seen put into controls in any of these. I really love all those little gauges. And then the cute little seats for your figures. I will plug them in there in just a sec if I can. And then this is the big hatch for your interior for your troops. There's that door right here. Pop that open for you. Oh, I just popped the whole thing off. Let me see if I can squeeze it back on. Didn't even know that could happen. I don't want to break my toy here. There we go. Got it back on, but maybe you're meant to do it from the side. Yeah, it's a lot easier if you do it from the side. That's your throughway for the door. So there's an FYI. Don't try to move them from the bottom, because you can't. But there's your little pegs for the feet of your stormtroopers. I will show you how they fit in there in a sec. It's a little loose. And then there's your, let's see if I can get you a view of this section, the back. I like these little, that little area there. That's a cool bit of detail. Overall, it's a fine little toy. It's got a lot of features. Let me show you the figures. They're actually different. There's your Stormy number 1. He's credited as Bill. But everyone just calls him William. He prefers they call him Bill. This one's got a gun. He's the only one in this set with a gun. You can move both his arms like that. Not a horrible amount of paint on this. I feel like they could have applied the black in a couple more areas. It's nice that they got the backs of his knees there. That's cool. But maybe a little bit on the belt or something like that. Like the iconic frown isn't even painted in. Just looks like he's wearing sunglasses. And there's his little wonky gun. I don't know. It gets the job done. And then this is his buddy. If they're in a Rebels episode, they're not long for this world, because they drop like flies in that show. Same sort of lackluster amount of detail. Still has the backs of the knees, though. I'm glad they got that. That was priority number one. Sunglasses, gloves, and then the backs of the knees. But let's get back to the cockpit here. I'll see if I can slot one of them into the seat here. You just kind of throw them in. There's no real locking mechanism. They just sort of sit there. Oh, and that's how he would sit. That's probably the best one to be able to do. And then you can see him sort of through the blurry, kind of warped, transparent windshield. Actually, you can't at all. But trust me, he's in there. And then this is how one of them would sit in the door. You just kind of throw him in there. Nothing to keep him in. But if you're rolling it side to side, he'll stay in there. And then when you open your door, he just falls right out. I guess it was a rough ride. And then you would bend his legs up, open the top. Let me see if I can get him to sit in one of these little seats here. I think I did it once. There's a little divider. Yep. There's a little divider to keep the legs sort of in place so you can move the ship around and he won't, go flying around. I still wouldn't give the thing a hard hit because he'll fall out like that. But that's how he would sit in. And I think the fact that they only give you 2 stormtroopers is a little lame because it's a friggin' troop transport. You think the smallest they could give you is 3, so you can at least fill out one of these sides. But that's really the biggest complaint with this whole thing. It's a cute little toy, and I like it. It's just the spilt coffee wash and the lack of figures that they give you. Overall, I definitely like it. It's not the strong point of the line, but I wouldn't call it the weak point either. Give you a look at the insert that it comes with. Let me angle up the camera. You get the same sort of model that you get. I believe that is the exact same render that they use for the toy, which is cool. You get a couple more up top there, a couple more right there, and then a little blue seat for your transport. Just put it in right there. I love these little inserts. I still would rather stands than the inserts, but I'm glad you get something extra. And then the box, troop transport, 0019. There's your blister for the 2 stormtroopers. There's your little render. And then there's the top. Nothing special there, but some art. And then a little walkthrough of the features right there. There's your hologram. And then the go buy this at the bottom. That's it for the box. Give you a little comparison with the ATST. Turns out the troop transport is a bit bigger than I thought it was. I always figured ATSTs were massive. The ATSTs seem a bit underscaled, but I guess now that I'm looking at it, it's all right, the scaling. There definitely should be 2 seats in there. There's your Imperial officer, but there's only 1. That's how it compares with the transport. There you go. It's cool to have a little massable Imperial ground force. I'm very, very happy they're doing ground vehicles. I'm glad it's not just space only. And I have a TIE fighter here, why not? Put the TIE fighter up next to it. Just like that. And that's it compared with the TIE fighter. That would appear to be all I have to show you tonight. So thank you for watching.